Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the New Nassau Food Forest. Today, you can see I am under my cabin. It is much cooler under here than it is anywhere else on the property right now, and I'm hoping to use that to my advantage by putting a vent in the floor of my cabin today. When I first got the cabin, I put vents in the top of the attic space, and so that is always letting the hot air that sits at the top of the cabin out, and I'm hoping to add to that temperature difference by putting a vent in the floor and allowing the cold air from under the cabin to be drawn up through. So on one end, we're going to have the floor vent, and then on the opposite end of the cabin are the vents at the top, so that constantly cold air will be drawn up from one side of the cabin and then flowing through and then up out to the other, creating a passive cooling effect. I do have some support beams under here that I don't want to hit when I drill my holes into the floor of my cabin. So I'm going to take some measurements and then I'll get back to you. All right, guys, I'm back. This time I'm inside the cabin. It is quite hot. As you can see, we're looking at 91.4 degrees where I'm sitting. Which is not the ideal temperature for my living space. So I've got my measurements drawn out, and I hope you can see that. That is where we're going to drill a hole for this floor vent. Always a very scary experience when I put holes in my house. But I'm going to get set up, and we're going to give it a go. Good news, it just went through the floor and not in any support beams, so I did it right. Another review of tools. I'm using Cobalt. It's the Lowe's brand, and they are just all right. They get the job done, but sometimes stuff happens. Second hole in, no support beams. I did it right. All right. Give you guys a little look-see here. Wow. All right. And just like that, there's a hole in my floor. I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup and a little bit of finessing, cleaning up this hole and making sure it's the right measurement, and then I'll come back to you guys for the next step. All right, so here we have the hole in the floor, and that air vent just slips right in there. And that'll be adjustable for in the winter when I don't quite want all that air escaping. So yeah, there we go. All right, guys, last thing that I have is I put a metal screen just on the other side of this. I have sort of accepted that a certain level of insect life is inevitable and unavoidable around here, but I don't want to make it too easy for them to get in the cabin. So I've put this, it's just window screen, and I have duct taped it around the vent. There we go, that's the word. I thought about going underneath and screening in the area that the vent would sit above, but then I realized that if I do it this way, I can just pull this right out and then sweep stuff out the hole. Whereas otherwise, anything like stuff would collect in the area if I did it the other way. So it's a little it's not my cleanest work, but it'll do. And this way, when I just slide this in here, I have a little screen to keep the bugs from coming out. Got a little bit more airflow, and while the temperature hasn't dropped significantly, it is at 91.8. The humidity appears to have dropped quite a lot. I don't know what that's about. I don't really even know if this thing is particularly accurate. It doesn't feel like 91 degrees where I am right at this second. So yeah, but I'll keep you posted. It does already feel cooler, and I can physically feel a draft coming up from this vent, which is great news. It's spectacular. I will keep you updated and posted on how this works, if it becomes comfortable to sit in the cabin in the middle of the day. Although during the hotter months, at least right now, I don't really foresee that happening. As plants grow around the edges, the air underneath the cabin will get even cooler than it is already now. There will be more shade, and there are a couple other ideas I have to keep that air cold and bring that cold air into the cabin from the bottom and allow the hot air to escape through the top. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this little learning experience on passive cooling was valuable to you. Hope you enjoy your day, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. I guess I have to remember to say that. And let me know what you'd like to see in the comments, and any questions you have. Feel free to find me and the New Nassau Food Forest on Facebook or Instagram. That's the New Nassau Food Forest. And that's all. Namaste.